What about the shoulder joint? For the shoulder joint, one thing we want to be careful of is that the scapula in our dogs and cats is very, very mobile. And so we do want to stabilize that scapular joint anytime we want to manipulate the shoulder, because if we don't, that will actually cause that whole segment to move. So we're not really being very specific then at doing the manipulations on the joint. So my proximal hand is always stabilizing across that scapular spine as I'm fully flexing and then fully extending this shoulder joint. There are specific things that we can do in terms of testing out, say, the biceps tendon and putting a little tension on it. So with the biceps tendon, what we want to do is we actually want to flex the shoulder, and you can probably feel this in your own shoulder. If you fully flex your shoulder and then you extend your antebrachium, you'll probably feel a little tension actually across your biceps tendon. And then at the same time as doing that, oftentimes I will roll my thumb into that biceps groove and palpate right over the biceps tendon. And if we have a dog with a biceps tenosynovitis or tendinopathy, that often will elicit a little bit of a pain response when we tension and also palpate that area. The other thing we might check for is medial shoulder instability. Now, I get a lot of people that get a little bit caught when they try to look at shoulder abduction when we're testing for medial shoulder instability with the shoulder flexed. If I keep my shoulder flexed, I have a very wide range of abduction that I can achieve, versus if I extend my shoulder, now there is more of a limit to my shoulder abduction. And that's why we want to be careful when we're interpreting shoulder abduction angles to make sure that, one, we are stabilizing the scapular spine, and two, we're testing for shoulder abduction with the limb in extension. And typically I would do this with the dog at least under a sedation, because they oftentimes don't appreciate this maneuver, especially when they have got shoulder pain. And I do want to have kind of a bit of a repeated measure to make sure and compare to the opposite side, so that I am sure that I am having a good control or repeatability to my findings.